And on the count of 3, we both clap. That's 1, 2, 3, clap.
So clap on 3, or...
Don't be a
1,
dick.
2, 3. Come on, let's do that bit.
No.
That bit's always funny.
No, fuck off.
It's classic comedy.
On the count of 3, we both clap.
All
1, 2, 3. Motherfucker! You did that intentionally.
Alright, sorry, I thought it was clap on 3. So
No,
it's
what-
1, 2, 3 clap.
Yes.
So it's basically a count of 4.
Yes.
Alright, cool.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, sorry, I was waiting for you to say 4.
Fuck off, it's not the 80s.
This is a great bit. This is
It would
the
be
best comedy we've ever done.
It would be a great bit if I could actually sync it together. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hello and welcome to the JADed podcast. It's me, your boy, Andrew, and your other boy, Jamie Vanlint. And we just had a long, long time apart, didn't we, Jamie?
For you going to say, it's me, it's that PIMP. A to the bizzle.
Yep, and you see, unfortunately for us, we've got to deal with less than stellar audio because Jamie is moving house, and that means that I can't be in his bedroom like the good old days. So,
Like everybody wants to be.
So this episode will sound like it was recorded in a tin can. That's because it was. And then next episode will probably also sound like a tin can because we usually record these 2 at a time. And then the next episode will have decent audio quality because we will be in a nice new space.
I think you just ruined the magic of podcast production.
Should I have kept kayfabe?
We record these all live as you're listening to them.
Speaking of kayfabe, we're going to be talking about some darker shit today. So
I was wondering where that was going.
if you don't like this, then if you don't
Fuck off.
if you don't like this, then go to our page, our YouTube page, and we have an email. Now, what I need you to do is you copy that email and you forward it to Universal Studios, and they will deal with it. Oh, and we're also going to be talking about future business ventures for Vince McMahon. So, kayfabe.
All right, there we go. We got there eventually.
So, Jamie, are you going to lead into this one today?
I've got a news story here. It's my favourite news article I've ever read.
Is it man tries to burn his children alive?
No, it's my second favourite.
Okay.
That's on the bookmarks list right next to this one.
Okay.
This is an article from the 26th of February 2009, and I remember reading this in the newspaper when it happened. And it stuck with me for all the years, as you will soon appreciate why. So I'm just going to start with a headline. Radioactive paedophile on the run after skipping court.
Excuse me?
A radioactive paedophile. Yeah, let's hope he doesn't bite anyone.
So, could you read that out? What happened? Wait, no. If he does, I assume if he bites you, you just die.
Become a paedophile. It's not like you just gain the powers of a paedophile.
This is topical as well because a Russian former spy has just been poisoned, and because of that, they keep showing photographs of that Russian spy who got radiation poisoning by, I don't know, the KGB. Are they a thing?
Yeah,
when we were,
KGB.
do you remember
Allegedly.
when we were kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
He did not get superpowers.
No, he just died. So, yeah. So how... Context on the radioactive paedophile, please.
Alright, let's read the article. A radioactive paedophile has gone on the run after failing to show at court for child pornography offences. I mean, if you're a radioactive paedophile, what else can you do except for go on the run, right? I mean, that's kind of the responsible thing to. If they send him to prison, he's just gonna radioactive up the surrounding police officers.
That's not context, though. That's just restating what I already knew, which was that there was a paedophile, he was radioactive, and he was on the run. I want to know why he's radioactive.
Alright then. Right. Thomas Leopold, 42, a college principal, absconded days before his trial after having large doses of radiotherapy treatment for a thyroid condition.
I thought that it'd be like... was injected by an angry father.
Oh, right, he was like, cool.
Yeah.
With the child, and so there was like, I've got some plutonium here and it's going right up your ass, mate.
I'm not saying it was the logical thing, but I just thought that...
it would have been the better story.
Yeah, I thought it'd be something cool. Context ruins it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I didn't know they'd done radiotherapy for thyroid conditions.
Well, radioactive paedophile on the loose is always going to be a more interesting headline than whatever it is, because, you know... Well, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. It says a judge has issued a warrant for his arrest, warning police he could harm anyone he comes into contact with. Judge John Price said, "Please warn officers that when he is arrested, he might be radioactive. This is not a joke."
Have you ever seen the paedophile database?
I have.
Now that's fantastic because we went to school with someone who was not a paedophile. That's not the right term.
Just a bit of a naughty boy.
Yeah, like he was 16 and he'd be perving on 12-year-olds. Okay, maybe a paedophile.
Yeah, you get. I mean,
but mind you, it wasn't so much that it was every female he could. But he ended up on this website called the Paedophile Database after he went to court, and it's if it sounds like an academic website, it's not. It's not.
It's definitely not a professionally run educational database.
Yeah, it's it uses words like creepy pervert, which, while accurate, are
it's not the most like objective term. So
the thing that bears questioning for me here,
creepy pervert.
the thing that I really want to know about, what I really want to get to the center of, is where are you on there?
Well, like, where am I on the database?
Yeah, because if I was friends with anyone that was going to be on the database, it's definitely you.
I don't know, does it use the Dewey Decimal System?
Dewey.
I get it. I don't know, mate, is it alphabetical? Like, it can't be, it's a database. Surely returning a search result can't be that difficult, right? I mean, let's hope that no future employers listen to this. You just accused me of being a paedophile, so... I'm not a paedophile, I'm a good old-fashioned pervert. There's a difference.
You're listening to Pegleg FM. Today we're gonna be playing some quality tunes from Hailstorm. Stay tuned.
Masturbation kills 100 people in Germany every year.
How?
As many as 100 people are dying every year in Germany from risky masturbation practices, a new study has shown. Oxygen deprivation is the most common cause of death in people who are searching for the ultimate orgasm, according to forensic examiner Dr. Harold Voss.
Stranglewank.
I mean, I don't want to cast aspersions against an entire nation, and it kind of feels like that's what I'm doing. But Dr. Harold Voss definitely sounds like he was a Nazi scientist.
I mean, it's very hard to have positive German sentiment in this country right now because Gary Oldman just won the Oscar for Darkest Hour, and right now we're so thoroughly behind him.
Yeah, I feel like Dr. Harold Voss definitely made one twin choke while his other twin masturbated to see if there was any effect.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The body of a man was reportedly found in Hamburg covered in sliced cheese with pantyhose pulled up over his body while he was wearing a diving suit and a raincoat. He had placed a plastic bag over his head and was sat in the front seat of a heater that was... So I was sat in front of a heater that was switched on. That's quite the setup. That's
someone that could only get off to porn involving a trained circus bear.
I mean, that's... Alright, when it comes to masturbation, if I have to go to 5 different shops in order to get the equipment required, so sliced cheese, pantyhose, a diving suit, a raincoat, and a storage heater.
Why does he need the pantyhose if he's in a full diving suit?
I don't know. The pantyhose are pulled up over his upper body, and he's wearing a diving suit and a raincoat. Yeah, I don't know how any of that works. He has a plastic bag over his head just for good measure.
You know what the weird thing is, though? I think if someone said, imagine a man in a diving suit with pantyhose and a raincoat, for some reason I think there is just something about it that connotes weird masturbation.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that could be semi-normal, but not.
Yeah, if you were sitting an exam paper where it was a man is wearing pantyhose, a diving suit, and a raincoat, what do you think this man's doing? I think, charity work for the local children's hospice is further down the list than, creepy perversions.
Yeah, because there's no logical situation in which it makes sense. It's like
an underwater fashion show in the rain.
It's like Sonic the Hedgehog, right? I associate Sonic the Hedgehog more strongly with weird, unusual kinks than I do with the actual video game.
Yeah, that is quite... when Sonic Forces came out, and the whole selling point was you can make your own Sonic character. It's oh my god, people get to create their own fucking yiffs to wank to.
Oh, yiffs, yeah. I was about to say their very own waifu, and I was like, wait a minute.
I don't even know if yiffs is the correct term, I just
No, it is.
Alright, good. Women are also known to die from autoerotic asphyxiation, but it's less likely as it claims that they're more cautious. So it's not that they're less likely to do it, it's just that when they do it, they always make sure they got a backup. They're smart, they think it through. Although the official numbers reported are much lower, Dr. Voss predicts that the number of unreported cases are extremely high, as the relatives of the victims may feel ashamed about what has happened. That's gotta be... Dude, losing a family member is shit. But you've got to imagine that if you lose a family member while also finding them in a diving suit and a raincoat with their cock in their hands.
Can you imagine that, though? The police are questioning me, and they're like, so, Mr. Bryan, how did your friend pass? And I'm like, I killed him. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That'll work. I killed him.
But you have an alibi. You were, in a completely another country. No, don't worry. I definitely killed him. The alibi is lies.
Oh, well, I don't understand. It can be verified that we've got...
Yeah, we have CCTV of you in a completely different place.
Well, I mean, the truth is, officer, I just don't want to talk about it.
Well, in one example, a man was discovered by his mother with Christmas tree lights clamped to his nipples, but she removed them before the emergency services arrived. They were initially confused why he had burn marks on his body, but his mother came clean and admitted what she has originally found.
How do you clamp? How do you clamp Christmas tree lights to your nipples?
I don't know, but that's opened me up to like a whole new world, like festive wanks. Seasonal wanks.
Is it not enough that... Is it like the implication? It's like, well, I know my girlfriend's not going to dress up as Mrs. Claus, so...
I just think it's... I've just never thought about that, like, in general. I just never...
stick cotton wool onto your thumb so it looks like...
It's April, shove an egg up your ass while you wank.
Hello, it's Dagnum Dave, and I'm here with my boy, Big J Bizzle.
True rude boy shout out, the greatest generation of our time once say, no one man should have all that power. This is him, that man, Kanye West.
He's gonna give us his Kanye best.
Classic Daggy Dave.
Pitch time! So Vince McMahon recently announced that he was bringing back the XFL, which is pretty much the best definition of that SpongeBob meme, how many times must we teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah. It only cost him tens of millions last time, so maybe he's aiming to lose hundreds of millions this time around.
So, what are your thoughts?
What, on the XFL?
Yeah, I mean, are they going to take the knee?
Yeah, that was like my favourite thing was the conference call that he did for the press, when just like every other phone call was like, so just to clarify, are they going to have to stand during the national anthem? And he gave like the same answer every time. I was like, can we move on from this fucking topic, please?
Well, yeah, wasn't it basically saying, listen, I'm not getting political on this?
Yeah, he was like, look, it's not about politics, it's about the sport, and it's the tradition to play the national anthem. So let's just keep politics out of it, we'll play the national anthem, and then we'll play some football.
Surely what they should do is, rather than, because it's the XFL, it's not the NFL, it's not National Football League, it's not...
It's fucking extreme.
Yeah, so it's got nothing to do with America. So surely, because it's a WWE product, they should, at the start of every match, have the "You could take a swing at my ego." Did that just give you like bad flashbacks?
It did. I was hoping you were going to when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
No, because there's no way they'd do something that cool. It would be.
Yeah, and I guess they're trying to avoid racist connotations.
Maybe they should just have Jack Swagger's theme. The dum da 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 da.
Ah, that's the best theme. I think the whole national anthem thing is like just fucking Americans, man. Like there was this whole shit a little while ago with Fergie at a basketball game singing the national anthem, and everyone was in uproar. But
was she a bit rubbish, or?
Well, I mean, you know how Fergie sings, right?
Like really well if Slash happens to be there, and then otherwise really hit or miss.
Well, just you know her style. She's not like the type of person who's going to step up and sing the national anthem in a traditional manner. She's
No,
Fergie,
of course not.
like she has the Fergie style. She's so she just sang it Fergie style, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this was fucking the worst thing ever," and "Oh god, what have we done?" And it's like, well, it's Fergie singing the national anthem. This is exactly what you should have expected. I think the main problem is like this whole thing that Americans have of like playing the national anthem at the beginning of every sport anyway. Like,
Yeah.
if it's an international game,
Oh god.
then fair play. Like, if it's the World Cup, then I understand you plan the national anthem. Both teams get their national anthem played, and you make it like an international affair. Whereas when it's just like...
Every boxing match.
Oh, man,
Every
it's
boxing match.
fucking crazy. And it's like what? Like, that's the thing. Like,
And it's
NFL
always Demi Lovato.
NFL has always struggled to like find a market in the UK. Like, it has a slight market, but that market is on Channel 4 at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's not like, and I think part of that is why they don't make any attempts to make this an international thing. Americans don't really make any attempts to make things internationally available. Like, going back to Vince McMahon and the WWE and the XFL and stuff, when you're an English person who stayed up till 4 o'clock in the fucking morning to watch Roman Reigns beat everyone, and you've got to put up with, like, the national anthem, and you've got to put up with these promos that are like, we are Americans, goddammit, and that's what we do, and every single person who isn't American is a bad guy, and we boo them, and us Americans are just the best, because America is the greatest country in the world, and it's just like, and then the crowd start doing that USA, USA thing, and it's like, this is how Americans are portrayed in parodies, but this is how Americans actually behave.
Well, I think it's as well as that. It's like patriotism in America is sort of glamorized. Where if you look at like this, if you picture a stereotypical patriotic British person, what you get is a Brexit one. Like, the idea of patriotism here has like a very ugly connotation.
Yeah,
because
like very like dirty and like someone like an EDL member marching the street with a shitty placard. Whereas in America, they like to paint it as like a man standing on top of his fucking pickup truck on a mountain waving a flag.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Yeah. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
So, Vince McMahon has decided that he's going to sink a lot of money into the XFL, and we're here to say, no, don't do that, Vince McMahon. You don't know what you're doing. You should take our suggestions. So, today on Pitch Time, much like when we were trying to contain the Aussie flu outbreak, Jamie and I are going to work together to pitch other business ventures for Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah. Normally you pay a lot of money for consultancy, but we are here to provide free business consultancy to a billionaire.
And all we want is to have sex with Triple H. Not Stephanie. Trips.
Daddy Levesque.
For fuck's sake!
Pedigree me, daddy.
So, other business ventures for Vincent McMahon. I suppose we should get the obvious one out of the way, which is fix WWE.
That was the best thing about the pitch as well, is that he was like, we want to give the game of football back to the fans. And it's like, well, can you give wrestling back to the fans first, please?
Yeah, and again, I don't want to get back into this bend the knee thing, but I feel like he was put into a really awkward place because he was basically saying, you know, this, or at least I interpreted it to be, he was saying like all this bend the knee stuff is distracting it away from the sport, but at the same time he's also mugging off his bestie, which made those like, are people going to stand for the national anthem and stuff like that, like again and again and again, and he's like, dude, this is my best golf partner. I'm still surprised that Trump didn't have Linda McMahon in his
cabinet.
Yeah, I don't.
Have you seen that picture of Trump sitting at his big fucking White House desk, surrounded by Vince, Stephanie, Linda, and Triple H?
Oh, I need to see it.
Yeah, it's quite
the Nation of Domination. Okay, so
So inappropriate. Well, I think, like, so business ventures. I'm going to follow on in the same sort of vein as the XFL. And I'm going to say that if Vince wants to be a success, he needs to look into his past. And I think if he's going to do that, the XFL is wrong. It's a bollocks way to go. We've got the NFL, and people are relatively happy with the NFL. What we need is a World Bodybuilding Federation.
Yes, I was just about to say.
You know, there's if you keep up with bodybuilding news, like I do.
Yep, so do I, believe it or not.
I don't know why I found that so amusing to say, but I kind of actually do. There's a lot of uproar right now about the rules that are in place for bodybuilding and what it means to be a bodybuilder. Some people just believe that bigger is better no matter what, even if you look like a giant bubble. But then there's traditionalists like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who, you know, the
like
Arnold
you're
classic is
sculpting
named
the
after him
body
and stuff. Yeah, who believe that it
to
should
look
be-
like a body.
look like a human,
Yeah.
and not like a buff Jabba the Hutt.
It's like Ronnie Coleman versus Arnold kind of thing.
yeah.
And it's really interesting as well if you look at the bodybuilding community, because I've seen on the bodybuilding forums several times people saying that Ronnie Coleman, not Arnold, is the greatest bodybuilder of all time because he's the biggest and the leanest and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, well, that's all well and good, but he looks like a monster.
Yeah. They've got like these big bloated abs rather than like these really sculpted cores. And I think that's what Vince McMahon needs to do. Vince McMahon needs to bring bodybuilding back to the old school.
Well, I think he should do it, but in like in a fun WWE style way, like you have themed nights.
Right.
Like today, you've all got to be as ripped as possible, but you've got to do it with the motif of Macho Man Randy Savage. And then the next week, it's like do it within the motif of Alexa Bliss.
Oh, right.
Ugh.
Kai Green dressed as Alexa Bliss. He's got two big ponytails. One's like they're both like pink on the ends. That would be entertaining. Fuck it, let's do it.
Mel Gibson fact of the week.
You think I'm crazy? Yeah. Are you calling me crazy? You think I'm crazy? Yeah, you want to see crazy? I'll tell you.
Mel Gibson makes a lot of his money investing in property, such as in Malibu, Costa Rica, and Fiji. This extra money helps him when he's not filming because of reasons that remain ambiguous.
Mel Gibson fact of the week!
I'm thinking what we do is, you know, they've got their TV thing with like where they produce shit tier films that no one watches. Not only that no one watches, I don't think anyone views as legitimate films so much as they're really, really long WWE Funny or Die skits.
Yeah, I think if they weren't WWE branded, you'd definitely think there was some sort of money laundering thing behind it.
No, I think that it's some sort of money laundering scheme, and I know it's WWE. I don't believe for a second that WWE is not an illegal, but well, their whole contract. Wow, this is turning way more into like two dickheads shitting on WWE here. But their contracts, for their independent contractors, that's like I'm a freelancer, and that's not how that works.
Yeah, that's sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, it's...
Wait, let's not use the word sketchy, because sketchy implies that there's some sort of shadiness to it, when I think they are quite open about how fucking wrong it is.
No, in all seriousness, like, I think WWE... I think other business ventures for Vince McMahon, like, crucially misses the giant problem, which is that they shouldn't be taking any business ventures. They're in a really bad way at the moment.
Just get your get like the thing that you do, like the main thing that you do. Get that right before you start trying to do other stuff.
Wine refinery. WWE wine refinery. How about that?
World wine.
World wine entertainment.
Yeah.
World wine enjoyment, right?
Hell yeah.
Like capital W, lowercase I, lowercase n, capital E. And
That's nice.
and it's going to go like sideways, but like it'll each have like different shaped bottles. So rather than actually like, you know what, fuck the traditional wine bottle, different shaped bottles. So it's like like matey.
Yeah,
The
you know, like
the
that,
the buff stuff,
that...
like a Macho Man Randy Savage wine bottle, and then you flip off his hat and you pour the wine out.
Yeah, like, you know, the fucking aftershave and perfume that are shaped like it's Jean Paul Gaultier or something. It's like shaped like a little sailor man.
Yeah.
But instead, it's just a massive like Braun Strowman.
Fix their toy manufacturers, because I will never forget the day I came across an AJ Lee action figure, and honest to God, her thighs were the same width as her waist.
I was gonna say they need to. Vince McMahon has shown over the years that he really has an eye for the next great musical talents. And WWE haven't produced an album in quite a while. And I think they really need to bring that back. John Cena needs to drop a hot mixtape next year.
I'm thinking something like Midwest Choppers by Tech 9. But it's WWE Choppers, obviously, and John Cena comes in, then R-Truth comes in for a bit, and then fuck it, I reckon Bailey can spit a few bars.
When you said Midwest Choppers, I thought you meant like some show where a bunch of hillbillies build motorbikes out of shit that they find on the side of the motorway.
No, I know the exact show you're thinking of, though. You're thinking of Southern Chopper.
Oh, I bet Braun Strowman's got a big old Southern Chopper.
I don't think he'd fit on a motorbike. I don't think he can drive a motorbike. Ride a motorbike, whatever I think he's too big.
Probably is too big.
Unless he had one of them massive sport cruisers. You know, the ones that can fit like 3 people and all their luggage on it.
It would have to be like a Harley tricycle.
I think, because obviously Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman are the dream team right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking Alexa Bliss drives the motorbike while Braun is in the sidecart.
They can only drive in circles.
She's like, Braun, we got a problem. Braun like, why we not go anywhere?
They make no progress.
Braun has to steer it by just leaning. The wheels have collapsed. The wheels have collapsed on the side cart, and now it's just. Vince McMahon could take that money and just put it into fixing Alexa Bliss's motorbike.
That's where all of the revenue from the WWE shows come from.
I'm thinking WWE Monster Truck Rally.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. You know, I think it was WCW that run an angle with Hulk Hogan and the Giant having a monster truck sumo fight on a rooftop.
If it sounds absolutely fucking retarded, it's probably WCW. And I'm not a WCW hater, but I'm just saying, if you told me that there was going to be a match in which 2 people had to fight on a bunch of like if you're telling me that they have to finish Takeshi's challenge in order to cash in the belt, I think, WCW must have done.
I was definitely going to say, like, that was my next sort of thing, was I'm very surprised that even if it was just on the WWE Network, that they haven't run some sort of it's a knockout, total wipeout kind of show.
Yeah, because you think they've got a lot of athletes there, but I guess their fear would be, like, say one of them slips and then has a knee injury.
I have no idea why I went for It's a Knockout, like an obscure British show that hasn't aired in like 20 fucking years.
Well, if I was a pro wrestler under contract with WWE and they said, "Listen, we've got our own version of Takeshi's Castle, will you do it?" I think I would say no, just because it's like, well, if I fall and I twist my knee and I'm out for a month or 6 months, then like if I want to get injured. If I want to get injured while working for you, I at least want it to be in a match with Seth Rollins. This is an outro for the JADed podcast. You've been listening to the JADed podcast. This episode had to be cut to ribbons, so if it ends up only being about 25 minutes long, that's why. Cheers.
You think you can get 25 minutes worth of content out of that? Damn.